point, because you're like, if you have to have someone unplug or trace something down, you can say, all right, we use green wire for the Wi-Fi access point, we use blue wire for the phone, we use red wire connected to any of the servers, then we have another, purple wire maybe for the computers. Kind of, it's purple does look cool too. But yeah, there's definitely reasons to use colored cables. Most of the time, though, it's just a labeling or aesthetic. We had someone, we used alternating like a yellow and blue because it was part of the theme of the color scheme they had going in there. So we've actually chose colors sometimes because of client's preference for a certain color. It doesn't always necessarily matter. Red looks the most important. Speaking cables. Oh, the flat cables. Those. Just gonna bring the whole. I'll bring the whole kin over here. The flat cables. I have a few of those, and my thoughts on the flat cables are no, don't use them. They may all be. Nope, they're all missing from here. So the flat cables are not very sturdy. You use the flat cables for a little while, they seem to break randomly. They're not that sturdy. What do work really well, though, these are the thin cables. They're so thin, it doesn't want to focus on it. There you go. These thin cables work well. I haven't had any problem with these, but the flat cables, if you use them a lot, they look nice, but if you start using the flat cables a lot, they have definitely been a little bit more problematic. They just won't, they'll start getting, I don't know if it's the way they were, melded together, but the problem seems to occur right where they go in. You don't see any problem with it, but you can wiggle it and the link light may go on and off. So yeah, that's if you don't have the flat cables already, don't buy them. The thin cables are great. I've reviewed these. If you type in like some of the Home Lab build kit stuff, I have links to all of them on my channel. I can also drop some there. How much for the shirt? Links down below to my Teespring shop. These are skinny, Monoprice Slim Run, and we can also, I can drop a link while I'm here. Matter of fact, just so anyone wants to see it, if you go to kit.co/Lawrence Systems, you can find links to all the products we talk about, like this here. There's all those patch cables. Yeah, I'll just drop this link in the chat. Makes it easy to find. But it's kit.co/Lawrence Systems. That's where I keep all the links for all the different build stuff we do. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, they're on Amazon, and those are affiliate links, so appreciate if you click them, but oh, yeah, you got to watch those delivery times. I imagine I didn't know Monoprice didn't ship to Europe, but there's yeah, I mean, I'm sure some other vendor probably has that brand, so. Let's see here. Let's remove that person. All right. Yeah. Let's click on remove. I don't know why people come in and spam, but they like to sometimes. Makes them happy, I guess. I don't really know. What are the other things that we wanted to talk about today? Getting down towards the end of it. All right, that user's now banned. Perfect. How did I start on YouTube? I actually started doing some pfSense videos because I was doing public speaking before I did YouTube, so this was kind of a natural evolution of things to me. Public speaking stuff turned it into, hey, where can I find this online? All right, I guess I could put this online on YouTube. And I'm like, what else can I do on YouTube? And if you check back to my earliest videos, I did a bunch of laptop repair videos. I tried a few different things before I figured out what I wanted to do on YouTube. But the ones that took off were the firewall videos. So I said, oh, okay, cool, and did some of that. So that's, you know, just one of those evolutions of things. Oh, how much comes from hot sauce? I will have to do some digging to figure that out. I don't know. Um, it would be kind of neat. So the way Amazon affiliates work is they do break down not what you as an individual bought. It's very anonymized. They just tell me what was bought from an affiliate link. So I'll have to do a report and see how much of it was hot sauce. I think that would be very interesting, and maybe I'll have that for next blog. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, we need to update our hot sauce page. We have a few more things we need to add to that. We're always constantly got to add something, you know. It's all a work in progress. Recommendations for a laptop for programming. I won't lie, these ThinkPad laptops, they have always been good. Especially for a programmer, ThinkPad makes really nice keyboards. They've always had good key travel, and it's one of the reasons I've always favored them. I've had them for years. This is, you know, I still have my old one over here on the table too. I still like this one. We just leave it here at the studio, but on Thursdays I bring this laptop to the studio. This is a laptop the one I'm on right now is one, it's at home. This has kind of become the shop laptop, so I don't have to bring my laptop all the time. And it's older, and all I really do is open up web pages with it to do demos. Yeah, this is an L480 that I'm using right now. This is still, I mean, this one's a couple years old too, but I don't really have any need to replace it because it does everything I need. Longest run cable? I don't know. I am working on a cable disaster video. That is coming up. I've been really thinking about how I want to do that. I didn't want to make a video because everyone asks what's the worst job ever. And I'm like, this one job. But I also want to make it a learning lesson of how we got through that one job. And there's some really long runs in that job, but there's going to be a little bit of ranting in it because it definitely is a job that everything went wrong on. Because that happens sometimes. But it's a learning lesson. How do you mitigate the risk? Things go wrong. How do you mitigate the risk? How do you stay out of trouble? You know, I wonder if we can make this update even, like, it rounds the number. I think it'd be kind of cool if it moved. It hasn't really... I think the view count went up. I'd have to roll back it out. But while we're at it, I'm bringing this up. What I really want to bring up is go ahead and hit the like button while I'm looking at this, seeing how many people actually subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit the like button because there's like 314 people. Pi. There's a pi number of people on here. And there we go. Now we got some more likes. Much appreciated. Oh, now people left. They don't like when I say bash that like button. Destroy the like button. What's that guy? Can't remember his name. He says destroy it. Graham Stephan. He's got some good content on his channel. I don't watch all of it, but some of his stuff can be very interesting. Let's see. Best Netgate appliance for 1 gig forward. I mean, I'm partial to the at least a 3100 if you got 1 gig, but I probably, if you want to run any services and run more things on it, go with the 5100. But it kind of depends on budget. 5100 is nice. I got an extra one in our lab over here. We use one here. Our office is using a 5100. I like them because all the ports are individual ports. But we sell a lot of 3100s. Those are really solid too. Running behind. Your recent comments on Unraid are a bit late. Yes. So yeah, the 5100's been a solid product for a while. I mean, like I said, that's what we use. It's tried and tested. It's been around for a while, but it's x86. It's all Intel. It's all logical ports. It doesn't have that backplane with the VLAN switching going on like the 7100 has, which the 7100 is nice, but there's an extra learning curve to figure out how that backplane works. I have a video on it. But either way, I think I definitely has no problem with a gig and definitely has no problem running a few other things on it. So Dell 710 with dual 10 gig NICs, enough for 10 gig routing. It depends what you run on it. 10 gig routing can be tricky because there's driver issues and limitations with kernels and things like that. It's not necessarily a turnkey system. I'm going to give this 10 more minutes before I wind this down because I have to do some other stuff. Probably reply to the many emails and things that are at that are going to stack up. I also got to do my accounting. It's month end. And that's one of those fun things I do once a month. I spend a couple hours making sure I know all the money that went into the business, all the money that went out of the business, and what's left over. So I have a proper profit and loss sheet. That's one of those fun business owner things I do. I am working on, though, probably still splitting the channel for those wondering, because that's why I haven't been doing any of the business videos on here. I want to do a bunch of them, but they feel off brand for my channel now because so much of my channel is more focused around doing technical stuff. The Home Lab shows that's going really well. I dive so much into network engineering, and the Home Lab show we've been diving into. We did a great episode on containers yesterday. It is a podcast at thehomelab.show if anyone wants to check that out. That's been really good. I'll pull a link up. We've kept it extremely simple. Even the website, this is not by accident. We did not want to populate it with too much stuff. So you can listen to it in here. You can download it. You can get it the RSS feed. If you want to use Apple, Google, Spotify, Blueberry, or just a raw RSS, we've got it all for you if you want to listen to some of the podcast stuff we're putting out there. We had Alex on the show last time. Alex works at Red Hat, and he knows quite a bit. He made a little website you might have heard of if you've ever dealt with Docker containers, linuxserver.io. But yes, Alex is awesome. He was a guest on the show. I just want to give a shout out for that. That show's been going really well, and yeah, I'm happy for all of you, and I think there's a good crossover audience in there for it. So it probably is on Stitcher too. So I imagine it's there. It is 5:38 here, p.m. So yeah, my goal is I'm going to wind this down so till 5:45 is when I'll stop. That means I was doing this for 1 hour and a half. Don't split the channel. You feel they're intertangled. It's tough. I'm still not 100%. I keep bringing it up because I actually am looking for people to tell me whether or not I should split the channel. It's a tough question because it seems like the audience for it is different and that the Venn diagram is not quite as overlapping. A lot of people are going, I'm here for the tech content. I don't care about some of the business stuff. I mean, granted, the business stuff is obviously technically related to running a tech business. But yeah, I'm trying to just make sure I don't mess with the channel, so to speak, to where I'm not making people happy. The goal is to reach a larger audience. And if people go, I'm unsubscribing because I'm annoyed by these business videos, but other people go, hey, I would rather subscribe to a dedicated channel for this. That way people can, niche down in their own. That's why I'm thinking about doing it. But it's obviously figuring it all out, and managing 2 channels becomes its own challenge into itself. So I've been careful. Yes. Like Eric, one of my staff here said, yes, if we separated the content, it may make the algorithm happier. And very much so, like ECNIT Solutions said in here, absolutely, YouTube favors niche channels. No doubt about it. My cousin, she's been on YouTube for a long time. She's offered me a lot of counsel and advice, which I'm very grateful for because she's my cousin. But definitely, we've talked a lot about this, and niche channels do really well because people subscribe to a niche channel because they know what to expect. They have a thing they like. So if you like motorcycles and a person has a channel that's dedicated to motorcycles, you subscribe to it. But if that person wanders off the motorcycle topic and into other topics, they start talking about food, you're like, well, this person's not even good at cooking. I don't want to watch cooking. And yeah, that's part of the reason you try to keep it focused. So, oh, who is my cousin? Oh, that's a fun, who can figure out who my cousin is? That would be a fun, I should do some open source intelligence type things where people have to figure out something about that. I'll let this one go. My cousin has gone to the Snow Dogs. Her name is Jessica. So She's family-oriented channel. I don't do dog videos here for the same reason that I'm thinking about splitting business videos. She does really well with her channel because it is niche content. You know what to expect. It's going to be her and the dogs and the husband. They're going to talk about dog things and stuff. So it's a family-oriented channel. So you know what to expect. Therefore, it's easy to subscribe to her channel if that's the kind of content you're looking for. The Snow Dogs. Snoop Dogg. Oh, no, Snoop Dogg is not my cousin. Cat 6 videos. Yes. You know, I guess there are some animals in my video. So we got the Cat 6 here. Sure, what about the process of selection? Now, talking about the business videos is that's where the split comes in. There are times when I've talked about how we thought about the project from a budget standpoint. I don't see talking about a project or why we chose certain hardware and budgeting on there as a business video. That's just a video, and that's part of the considerations when you buy hardware, or especially when you have a budget, which most people seem to have, that's not unlimited. So you don't get to buy exactly what you want. You try to fit the best bang for the buck. That's still just a review video. The business videos are where I talk deeper about like MSP, or I have a sales video. I have a video on how we get clients. How we get clients is not something that people who install network switches, there's much less crossover for that. Yeah, price for the tech is a tech video. Snoop Crimp Cat 6. Yeah. I don't know. I've done UniFi and pfSense videos. I will probably do a UniFi and TP-Link video though soon, before I go back to doing some UniFi pfSense ones. I think enough home users seem to be looking for the TP-Link stuff. I might do that first. I have done a Radius authentication video with pfSense. I have not done a Radius authentication video with Wi-Fi and UniFi. So yeah, eventually maybe I'll do that. It is going to be a more technical dive though. But I like those. You just better find the time to do it. Yeah, 802X is overlooked. You're probably right. It's probably worth doing a video on. It's, what was I going to say here? TP-Link, ew. Hey, I've said I have my reservations about TP-Link, but people really like it because they like cheap hardware. So the downside of TP-Link is no bug bounty program, Telnet enabled. I mean, I covered the issues. There's not any known backdoors or vulnerabilities, but there are certain limitations on there. So someone else asking about MikroTik devices. Yes, I like them. Yes, I have one in my hand right here. I've reviewed them before on the channel. We talked about them earlier in the video. I don't know why UniFi would be dropping only Android phones. Not something I've run into, but anything's possible with a weirdly configured system. I don't know. Instant On, I don't think, is in the same category as TP-Link. TP-Link is cheaper than UniFi. Instant On is cloud locked, well, except for certain models. As someone will point out that some do have a web interface on them. But I'm going to do probably some comparison videos on them again. I don't know though. I'm not a big fan of the way the like this one here specifically, Instant On, and I've done a video on these, that they cloud lock you, that you have to use their cloud. That's it. That's the rules. Yeah. Instant On is probably more enterprise than UniFi, so yeah. Tom has to do a video on why he doesn't do OPNsense. Not really. I don't know if I need to do a video on that, but nonetheless. Yeah, people bring up the same topics a lot. But nonetheless, thank you all for joining. Thank you for liking my Sriracha cup. Thank you for 192 likes and some donations. So much appreciated. Go check out that WireGuard project. I talked about it. It's on my forums. Follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter if you got questions, comments, concerns. Interact with us on our forums at forums.lawrencesystems.com. And I think that's it. I'm going to go do something. Something accounting, something chill out. Go home, all that fun stuff. All right, take care, folks. Going live. You are live, and welcome to Vlog Thursday. This is episode, I don't know, what's the number? 217. Had to look at it. Isn't this dog cute? This is foreshadowing, because dogs and things like that. All right, cool. Lots of people here already. Awesome. Hey, you boys and girls. We are live. So hello, people of the internet on here. Recent topic. No, recent video. Twitter equals Reddit. I did a video that addresses the fact that yes, WireGuard has been temporarily suspended in pfSense because it's going under code review. That's all I really have to say about that topic. That is obviously what people want to know. That's why I did a video on it where you can go comment on it. It's the video posted just before this one. Too long, didn't watch. Don't use WireGuard until it's been code audited. All right, moving on. I just don't have anything else to say on it because there's nothing more to say. I did put a video out for that on the topic. Now, to talk about more interesting things that there's actually something to talk about is smashing the like button. So go ahead and do that while we're here. I'm gonna mention that more often so we can get that like button done before the end of the show here. And let's talk about good things and happy things, right? What do you call it? I got distracted. Synology. Thank you, Synology. We'll start out there. Synology and me and my cousin, who some of you know and has to do with dogs. My cousin runs a YouTube channel called Gone to the So Dogs, and she needed some upgrades for all of her video content and a place to put it. So we reached out. We're working on a project with Synology on this, so always being fully disclosed up front, and introducing her to something easy to use. My cousin is not a technical person. She is a YouTuber who runs a family channel called Gone to the Snow Dogs. And so we printed a little 3D dog because I needed a prop, because I do not have any dogs, but she does have some beautiful huskies, and that's a big piece of her channel because it's very family oriented around the dogs and her husband and the adventures they go on and things like that. They also do some jeeping, and not everybody knows she's my cousin, but it's come up before. She's been on the channel once before when we built a gaming computer for her quite a while back. Swinging all the way here into 2021, I'm going to go visit her to help her set up a Synology and get it set up. So we figured, hey, why not reach out to Synology and talk about this, because I think it's a good solution, because as I stated, she's not super tech savvy. That's not her forte. She wanted something simple and easy to use. So it'll just another aspect of covering Synology. And so, yeah, I thought it'd be kind of interesting. And so the whole dog thing, yes. So this is the little less than, well, we can't really call this one a fur baby. This is just a 3D printed puppy. So we just wanted a prop to set on the Synology when we were setting it up to remind us who it's for. So that's just something I thought I'd mention. It was worthy of talking about. I will be probably diving into it because my cousin's also a YouTuber. I will talk about use cases that I think people may find interesting. And this topic comes up a lot because, like B&J, we did the Home Lab show just yesterday, which, by the way, that's going swimmingly well. The homelab.show is the website that we have for that, which is kind of cool. That is slowly coming along. It currently just has a cat on there, because why not? Because we haven't got the website done yet. But the discussion around Synology is the people are always looking for easy solutions to kind of remove Google from their life, de-Googlify their life. use self-hosted services. Now, there's people who are more technical, and I definitely probably am more on that side of that audience, so to speak, into the content I create. But there are people who are less technical, but still want to have all their photos somewhere and have an easier time setting it up. And this is where I think Synology kind of, really fits in that niche. And we talked a lot about that on the Home Lab show. For, advanced users, absolutely. We love all these fancy, more advanced things you can do, and Synology is missing, certain levels of advanced tinkering, but does a good job for people who want to kind of just have it work and not necessarily dive into the underpinnings of things. Which is what led to me choosing that and helping my cousin make that choice, so to speak, and how her video workflow is going to go. But it also is going to give me an opportunity to talk about things and with another user of it and kind of discuss, hey, this is how you use a Synology. This is like the use case that is for someone who is less tech savvy, but just kind of wants these things without just going, well, I'll just sign it all up to Google and stick everything in Google. That's not what everybody wants all the time. So, yeah. Did you watch the 45 Drives webinar? I retweeted it, but I have not had a chance to watch the 45 Drives webinar. I am much closer to, I could turn it on now and actually log into it. I got a lot more set up on the 45 Drive system. It's still exactly where it was last Vlog Thursday. This is where, it's too heavy to drag. I drag it for show, but it's heavy, and then the text box is in the way. But anyways, yeah, I am getting closer to having my review done. A series of happenstances have delayed it a little bit on my part, not theirs at all. It's actually been a lot of fun to play with. I have it running VM storage. I have it running with some shares. I've been doing a lot more testing, making sure I understand it so I can do an in-depth tutorial on it. And I really like the 45 Drives box. I'm excited about that video, and there's going to be more than one video on it. There'll be a review of the hardware and the software. And I'm going to take the Cockpit software, and I started building another Ubuntu machine internally here, because I'm going to show that they're using Cockpit and they branded it as their Houston system, but it's also still compatible, so you can have a mix of things and kind of create a dashboard for it. I have kind of a lot of use cases I want to dive into for the 45 Drive system, because I really like it. I think there's a lot that you can do with it. It's an advanced use case for sure, but a pretty awesome advanced use case and some advanced hardware. I just kind of like the way it builds out. There's something about it that has a lot of charm. It isn't just because they put my name on the front of it, so it's definitely going to be pretty cool. Let's see. Let me scroll back a little bit here. What all do we have? So, was there anything particular for those of you that did watch the 45 Drives that I should be particularly happy about? Also, Nick Glover, I see your says Tom's business videos have meant more to me than you can express. Awesome, very much appreciated there. And also, cool, I've helped you with your IT business. I like hearing that. That does make me happy. Cool. So the 45 Drives blooper at the there's a 45 Drives blooper. Now I'm just gonna scroll right to the end of the 45 Drives webinar now. That's my plan. So now you're wanting me to look that up right now to talk about that. That's awesome. I'm going to. I actually we're working on behind the scenes here, guys. My plan is to work, and I've talked to the team at 45 Drives. I think they have a lot of great content on our channel, and just because their channel's small, a lot of people don't realize it's there. So I want to bring them on my channel to do some videos and kind of, spread some love back and forth and say, hey, check out some of the videos. They've dove deep into some storage topics because they're experts at it. Especially that pops up here and there in the comments. Making sure people have a better understanding of some of the distributed storage systems or really large scale storage systems built on like Ceph or Gluster. And that's a expertise that does, ring well with the people over at 45 Drives. They do a lot of that type of storage design. So having some channel content back and forth with them, I think is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to get us deep into the storage topic and, really open up all the different options that are out there when it comes to storage, because it's a big market. There's a lot of different solutions and a lot of different scenarios. And it's kind of neat because it's being driven by everything massively getting bigger on the internet. I was hanging out with some friends last night and we got on this deep topic rolling back all the way to the 1990s and where I started my career, and how many things have changed and how much of that change was driven by kind of rapid scale. The internet brought us the ability to connect with a lot of people at once, but the tools didn't exist to connect with a lot of people at once. And it's kind of each iteration of, things like, let's throw out MySpace out there. When you have that many people logging in, there's a lot of technology that had to be developed to create a system that allowed that many people to communicate simultaneously. We went from these single node servers to these distributed server systems. And of course, storage on the back end has been keeping up with this as well, because you can create these large scalable websites, but then someone has to put all that data somewhere. So the storage market has grown in the background, and especially, YouTube's a great example of this. When you talk about building any type of large-scale video service, you talk about how do you store everything in that large-scale video service. You come swing back right around to the storage topic, and how do you keep it decentralized? And this is the topic I talked about last week with the OVH outage, of how, yes, that data center incident, which is still ongoing, days later, is very devastating to companies that didn't have a plan to get the data put somewhere else so they can start restoring from a backup plan. So yeah, the storage topic is definitely one that's fun to dive into. Oh, they might cut it out via YouTube, that the 45 Drives webinar. I'll have to find it. Don't do that. The 45 Drive stuff is really interesting. Now I see Mac Telecom Networks. Virtualization, 10 gig networking, SSDs are getting cheaper. That is for sure. You've seen my video on WireGuard, but you don't understand it. Good. You're actually in the same boat I am of not understanding it. Yeah, there's nothing to understand. Their code needs to be reviewed. Once the code's reviewed, it'll be reinstated. Something was found in the code. I don't know what. So you err on the side of caution. That's really, there's not anything else to say. Unless you can read C code, because the code is public. The code changes are public. So if you can look at the code changes, you'll be able to assess what happened and what changes. So if you look at that code commit and say, all right, this is what they changed, and understand what that means, then you'll understand exactly what needed to be changed. I don't have that skill set, but there's some really smart people that do, and they're looking at it. I'll put our faith in their hands, because that's all we can really do right now. Oh yes, the Synology did send some 8 terabyte Synology branded hard drives, which I believe are Toshiba. So that's definitely interesting. I do not use Security Onion in production, but I do use Security Onion. I've definitely played with it. I have not had the time to make a video on it because it is a very in-depth, extensive project. So it's on my to-do list to do a video on it. I just really haven't had the time. It's kind of an extensive thing to really dive into. It's not an easy topic. Let's just say, writing the whole tutorial for that is a little bit harder. I thought it might be easy. The good news is, and I've referred a few people to this, the folks at Security Onion started a YouTube channel and started breaking everything down into videos. So you can actually get quite a bit of information from their videos, and I found their videos helpful for even me setting things up with the new version of Security Onion. So definitely a really neat project if you want to check it out. It's a fully open source sim stack, and someone will point out that it's based on CentOS. Follow all their releases and blog posts, because yes, they address the fact that it's built on CentOS. So definitely a fun topic. What do we have here? Any more videos on Huntress going on? I don't need another one because I don't know what else to say. The Huntress works as it did in my very first Huntress review. I covered in my second Huntress review the added features. There hasn't been any more added features since the last version of Huntress, so I'm not sure what to do a video on. Now, I did throw out there about doing some business and process videos, and I'm working on that. Sure, that's a little bit tricky because it's figuring out exactly what someone wants to know or how they want to know it, and turning into a tutorial. I don't mind doing that. I just need some help from my friends here, the audience, and wondering exactly how you want those presented, or what is the aspect that I need to cover to help you understand a process or understand something we do internally. I know I've gotten a lot of people who seem to really like my bidding videos. I'm very happy. That's been very a helpful topic, which is awesome. So that's been, I'm going to say put to bed, but at least for the most part, I think I've made enough content around how we bid things to be concise. The how we get customers is always fuzzy because I tell people watch these videos and they're like, well, all you said was go to these marketing events. I'm like, yeah, or business events and market yourself there. And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of a lot of that. People look for the secrets to marketing, or that there's like there's just this hidden spot and they're going to look under something. Oh, that's where all the leads are. They're under this